here, and that's it. Mm, I'm gonna, okay. So going also live on, we're live on Facebook and we're also live on Instagram. I'm using a weird filter. It makes my lips look really orange. I like this. It matches the flowers. But now I'm gonna bring Super Mario. We're gonna talk about changes and changes in the community. And Mario is an expert because he actually builds the communities from scratch. Mario, you should see on Instagram an invitation from me when you watch elSol.
Yeah.
You seeing it?
Yes.
Okay, so we should be seeing here in here any second. Yes, I got you. So now, phone, screen, laptop
Let's
went on
press it.
silent. Let us know, guys, if you can hear us. It's always a bit of a challenge connecting everything. Super Mario is here. Before we start talking about super important stuff, I just want to say that party passes are available. You can go and get a party pass for 110 euros. All of the nights, all of the floors, two concerts included, and all of the shows. So it's on. Tromboranga and Elito Reve. That's just the fresh news that I wanted to share. And Super Mario, the living legend, the partner work, the social master, now a father of a lovely dog boy.
Hi
Okay,
guys.
we're good. Mario, how have you been? There are so many changes. You cut on traveling. You said you've been having some issues traveling. You have a dog. It looks like Super Mario is settling down. Tell us about it.
I'm loving. I'm really really enjoying this new. No, it's not life, but it's a new change in this way of living that I'm finding right now, which is truly amazing because there's a lot of key points to it that actually helped out. First of all, always all my friends know that I've been scared of flying for many years now, and for me that was always the negative aspect of my everyday life. I would every Friday and Monday be so nervous about these things, and it was just driving me crazy.
I remember you said once that when they question you at immigration, where did you come from? Where are you flying to? You had to think because you were like, is it
Yes,
Singapore? Is it Germany? Is it Russia? You had to like, you
yes.
didn't
Because
remember
we
where you
come
were.
back, we come back very tired from a festival, pretty much straight from a party to the airport, and then we're here, and then we just go blank. It doesn't happen. It's happened to a lot of our friends, actually, a lot of our colleagues
Okay.
as well. So, but yeah, the dog is just an extra bonus. Mambo, I'd like you guys to say hi. Can
You know, you made me want a dog. I'm waiting for a dog since September. I might have a French bulldog because it's being born at a friend's house.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
that's
Oh,
gonna be
they're
my
adorable. They're
they're
adorable.
gonna that's gonna be my third baby.
Cool. I mean, it's just I don't know. It just makes us happier. It just makes us
Mhm.
super happier. And coming back home to that kind of happiness is just ridiculous. I'm too. How do you say? I'm still not committed enough to have a baby, so a dog would be a
I
good
was
start.
I was about to ask you. I don't want to intrude in your private life, but is it Super Mario getting ready for someone
No,
else?
no, 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 no. It's how do you say? It's not like we haven't spoken about it, but we just decided let's go with the dog first. Raise
That's
him
a good
enough to
train.
raise him enough to take care of the child when we go to classes.
That's a good one. That's a good one. We had a comment here. Angel Fustiniano, greetings, my friends. Newsweek assistant is present in your house. Thank you.
Buenazo.
And Moranaso here. So Mario, you've been scared of flying, and then in COVID, after Brexit, what happened?
So Brexit was another factor towards it with the lines every week in the airports. It just drives me crazy. Like an hour this way, an hour that way, both ways. It was also driving me a little bit nutty. Um, then there's more I can talk, but I'd rather wait for more people to join us because there is actually. I'll start right now. There's another factor that has been bothering me for a while, but I'm not loud enough to make a video about it, or arrogant enough to say it to people in classes, you know.
Let's go. Give me some meat. Give me some meat.
It's too early, but I'll say it to you. You
Yeah.
know, for the last few years, something has been bothering me a lot, but I haven't spoken to anybody about it. But
Mm-hmm.
within myself, but now I'm talking more about it, and people are starting to understand this more. Social media.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, before when we used to dance with one another, it was always, you know, we connected the dance partner with myself. It could be nerves, it could be happiness, it could be lots of things, but it was between two people. It was between me and my dance partner.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, Anya, it just bothers me so much that anybody who wants to dance with me, the first reaction after I say yes is to take out a phone, give it to somebody, and now make them film me and her dancing. That's not a problem. I didn't have a problem with this ever. But now what's happening is these people are not dancing with me anymore. They're dancing for their cameras. And it takes away this connection between me and her. And the worst part is I'm having to adjust my dancing so she doesn't look bad for the video that she's making, even though she's decided to ruin the dance by not paying
Mm-hmm.
close attention to me or my leading or my techniques or whatever. So this has been bothering me a lot. I mean, that connection that we had in a dance is slowly just taken, and it's killing my passion for the social dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and to such an extent where I used to dance in the corners because it was, you know, there was air, there was no people around me. Now I'm having to go to the center of the dance floor so people don't stand around making videos. And I'm not talking about the professional videos. I'm talking about people and their headphones, you know. So this has been really, really bugging me a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And it's based, my decision was definitely some parts of that was based on me slowing down, because if you take away the only thing I have, which is the passion for the connection, I don't want to do this anymore, you know?
Mario, can you just put your volume down a little bit on the phone? Because I have feedback that you're loud and you're saying something really important. So I don't want
It
it to
could be
be.
just my voice. I was shouting last night in my classes like crazy.
Yeah, you're raising a very, very important point. Like marketing is taking over the real experience. This is why you were hiding in the Kizomba room at elSol.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. No, but it's like
Yeah.
they're killing the connection. They're killing this. The only thing we have in a social dance is the connection, right? And they're killing it because they want to have a video to post for followers or likes or hits or whatever the hell
Mm.
it is. That is one aspect. The second aspect was I was in Varna in Bulgaria for a festival. Mark Anthony's song came up. Some lady asked me to dance. Me and her were having an amazing dance, really so connected. And then some guy in the corner decided to take out his camera and film me and her. And she noticed this. That's it. The dance just changed completely. And now
Hmm.
somebody else has affected our connection, you know? I don't know, Anya. It's just, it's not like it used to be anymore. And it's not fun for me, really.
Hmm.
I love
Hmm.
teaching. I love being around people. I love dancing, but I'm not there to please. I'm not there to please somebody's videos or make them look good. And I'm not into all that stuff. You know me, right?
Hmm. Yeah, you've never been a showman,
No,
You're a teacher, you're
never.
a
You know, when
social
when you
dancer.
guys call me up on stage, also, I don't like all that stuff. You've known me
Hmm.
for years. I always run away from the stage. So,
Hmm.
and this is really affected, and it's been going on a lot after COVID, especially. And then I woke
Hmm.
up one morning and I said, you know what? I need to do something about this.
Hmm.
And I did.
So you shifted your focus basically from the international congress scene to building up the local UK scene.
Yes.
Yet again, you're teaching a lot of classes, running socials, right?
Correct.
You're
Correct.
you're, you're still moving in the space of your passion.
Yes, but this one is
Mhm,
giving me a different kind of satisfaction. I
mhm,
mean, these are seeing people who've never danced before slowly progress into groups and then becomes they go to social dance, and this makes me happy. This is a different
mhm,
kind of it's a satisfaction. It's a fulfillment. It's something that I enjoy watching developments in people. You know, and right now in London, I'm so happy. I love my students so much because they give so much into their learning, into their dancing, and watching them all have fun. It was just an incredible feeling, incredible. And they would all
mhm.
come to elSol. Don't worry.
Hi
No, no,
guys,
I'm preparing.
hope you're listening. Yeah,
Yesterday,
yeah.
asked them. We started the elSol boot camp. We started yesterday.
Okay, you
I'm
gotta be
going
ready. You have
to
to
take
like.
them from here to there
Yeah,
in 4 months.
nice.
I said this to them. I said, guys, we need to step up our game right now. You know. So, and then
You're Adi on Instagram is saying you're not asking if it's okay to film people. It's not okay. It does bother her a lot too. But you've raised a very interesting point. I talk to a lot of people. I manage the events, and there is the moment when dance becomes too sporty, when we only show ripped, skinny, fit people doing crazy stuff. It becomes it's not welcoming for the newcomers. And I heard that actually from a marketing specialist that works with me in branding elSol. And she says that we should run a webinar, maybe for international community, maybe for Polish, to talk to new people and ask what are their objections. Like she said, for instance, that her objection to come to the festival would be, I'm not so slim, you know. I have extra kilograms, and I don't, on these pictures and videos, I don't see people like me.
Wow.
So I feel different. So this made me think that I need to search in our library pictures of people in different sizes, so having fun, so that we can be an inclusive community. And she was actually preparing the newsletter out about you, and she said that when she sees someone like you, it makes her want to join the festival. So you, Mario, with your whole physiognomy, your anatomy, you've been like the person who created the social scene, because you are the social scene. You're not.
I take pride in so many different ways, as in, for example, the size thing. I get this every week in a festival. I get so many guys coming to tell me this, like, oh my God, only because of you we dance, because we know that even big guys could dance. And you know what? Even followers, ladies, you know, I believe, honestly, this is, again, maybe this is going to be politically incorrect, but I think they work harder in learning how to dance better. They put a
Mm,
lot of effort and a lot of dedication. They want to prove to the world that I can do this as well.
mm,
But the bad thing is when they go to a party, nobody invites them. And they're better followers than those people that you're referring to, And
mhm,
it's really
mhm,
a very shameful world that we live in right now, that these kind of things exist. I'm so glad I came from a time when people were super nice to me, even though I was much, much bigger than I am right now. People
mhm,
were really nice. People were very accepting, and I believe people should start thinking a little bit more humanly into the fact that if somebody is coming to a party, treat them as somebody who has learned how to dance. And like Susana Montero always told me, 4 minutes of your life is nothing, but it will make that lady remember you forever. And I believe in that very, very strongly. So
mhm,
people, get on it, be nice, be human. You know, it's not about the size; it's about a skill that people of all sizes can learn, can become better
mhm.
at it, and it's definitely welcoming in our world. Absolutely,
Melanie says it's not only size but also different levels, right? It's not.
absolutely,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
different skin colors, different levels, everything. But it's actually Kara mentioned to me that in the US that they did like a queer festival, and it was like body positive and tolerant, and everybody had an amazing time.
I
That
saw
this
the videos. I saw the videos.
Yes,
It looked like a lot of
that
fun.
yeah, that this different mindsets, that we got stuck in the mastery, the competition, the show image, and then we were wondering why do people go to bachata, why is salsa not so popular? But we're responsible for the community. We're responsible if we ask beginners to dance, right? If we're
Absolutely.
responsible if we ask new people to dance. We're responsible also how we make salsa. If we make salsa difficult, then we also creating this hermetic sports atmosphere, right? Salsa is supposed to be easy for everyone.
Anya, I always go back to the source. The instructors need to get on this, because if you're educating people, you educate them with all aspects of the dance, not just shines and partner work,
Mm,
but also the psychology of the dance itself. I always show my people that when you were in the lower levels, I sent these people to dance with you because that would have made your confidence go up. And when now you come to the higher level, I want you to do the same with people. I educate my people not
mm.
just with just partner work and shines, but also the aspect of the human connection. Nobody needs to know all this, but I do it anyway.
No, this is important. Mario, you should have like a Super Mario accredited teachers program.
You
No,
know what? If it's not
I swear to
personal,
God.
if it's not personal, it'd probably come out reading a book. It should not. It should never be like that. I know if you were to educate somebody, you would do it a different way to somebody who's currently teaching right now. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't come across as I would love to go and educate teachers everywhere. This is something I would love to do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do what I do in London, and we have an amazing community. Really, I'm so proud of our London social dance community that I'm very happy to give up traveling just to be here and be around these people.
Mm-hmm.
The energy is amazing, amazing. Come to
It's
London.
I actually really loved how COVID came and then you were observing what was happening in the world, also trying to travel, being in Ukraine a bit, and then after it was over, you said old people are gone. We're gonna create new people, and you actually got down to work instead of complaining and switching to bachata, for instance. Uh, you just said, okay, let's do it all over again, just like we did 20 years ago. So that's admirable. Richie from Holland is saying, I must admit that visiting Super Mario Social was good experience, but hot. I mean, man, all the good parties are hot. Have you ever seen a good party when people don't say, "Oh my God, it's so hot in here"?
No, Richie
Always the
should
case.
change his clothes. The motherfucker comes with a
Oh,
jacket and a sweatshirt and a hoodie, and he wants a social dance. So Richie, change your clothes.
I think he thinks he's burning more, when he does that. It's like wrapping yourself with foil.
No, I
Mark.
told you,
Hmm.
Tanya, when I came back from Ukraine after the pandemic was over, we had a meeting in Warsaw. Remember, with my
Yeah,
laundry
yeah,
with my laundry
yeah,
bag, I came to
yeah.
you. I did tell you I saw something then that people should have paid attention to, and it's some people paid attention to it like a year too late. But by that point, I was already a year into it. So I think observation is very important. I mean, we have to change the way we look at things now, how we do things now, and work really hard. It's because you're
Hmm.
building a whole new foundation again. So
So, who are the people in our business, in our community, worldwide that you relate to in terms of how you think? How we're creating this world together.
100% Adolfo.
Hmm.
That guy is working
Hi,
hard.
Adolfo, if you're listening.
Adolfo, bro, we write to each other occasionally, and we
Yeah,
say these things, and he's very happy to be working, and he's always been a super hard worker in whatever he did.
and he's also currently focusing on his local community, right? He chooses his
One million
gigs.
percent,
He's
yes,
not so much around as before, right? He's building his
yes.
crowd. Hmm.
And he saw this image as well. Panagotis and Mirto in Greece also, they're working
Hmm.
very hard with the local community. You can see these things because when you watch stories or videos or whatever, you can see all these artists. Their focus is very different
Hmm.
home when they travel to festivals. But I just decided that I don't want to travel so much. It tires me. Plus, 25 years in this business, I'm up to here. Anya, last week I was sitting down in the train station and I was like, I can't believe I did this for 20 years. I was like, how did I do it? And it was just, I don't even have an answer. I don't know what
Hmm.
drove me. It looks like I was just in some bubble that just burst recently. So
You probably weren't thinking. You weren't questioning it. Yeah.
probably not. Yes, and I guess also now with age, also our mobility becomes a little bit slower. I don't know, something to do with that maybe. And also another key defining point on this, the stress levels being high. I used to be stressed out, but I did what I had to do. But you remember Max from Düsseldorf when he
Hmm.
passed away? Rest his soul. It was a very, very important part of my life in that November last year when I said, you know what, at 43, this amazingly nice person should not have gone. And me and Terry, we spoke about this on the phone, and we were really okay. We need to make some changes now. And
Hmm.
it was a turning point. It was definitely a turning point. But he was just an amazing person, and I wish his family all the best. So, yeah. And that was where I am right now, working a lot in London and enjoying everything I'm doing right now. You should come to
Right.
London. You should really come to London one day on a
Well,
Monday,
Mario, then
Wednesday, Thursday, or
we're waiting for your event. Super Mario
oh
branded.
no 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 no. I'm happy.
No,
I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. Well, the brand is Super Mario Social.
Super Mario Weekender. What's the problem with that?
No, 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 no. It's just I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I don't want to overload myself too much with more work
I
also.
know Super Mario teaching bootcamp for instructors.
That is something I would love to do. I would love to do that kind of stuff. Yes.
We could also run it at elSol. Uh,
No, not in a festival. It has to
no,
be
too much.
separate to a festival. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So
So people can focus properly. Yeah. Mario, have you experienced? I mean, I'm sure you have, but and what kind of hate? Hate. Tell us.
hate.
Tell us. Yes, tell us like the most cruel comments from haters or
There's
something
always
that
going to be.
sticks.
There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be negative. You know, it used to bother me when
Hmm.
people just sat behind a computer and gave their opinions of some stupid class I did somewhere. You know,
But
not know.
did they what did they write? Like, oh, he always does the same thing. Oh, he
No,
cannot
no.
dance, or this is not salsa,
Well,
or
the cannot dance is a
okay,
predominant one. The
okay,
one that really made me a little bit angry, but I got a lot of support for it, was it was a class in Bulgaria I was teaching, and with a girl called Plamena. Hi, if you're watching. And it was the most viral video that I've ever had. It's had like 4 million views or something like that.
okay.
Obviously, with all those views, you get a million more
Uh
coming.
huh.
There was one comment where the guy is like, "Oh, it looks like an elephant dancing with a fly."
Mm-hmm.
And it really bothered me a little bit, but I'm just like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. But that was probably the comment that made me feel a little, you know what, screw you. But then the
Mm-hmm.
count dance is always turning the women like pretzels, blah blah blah. It's all those all come. Every YouTube video you go to, you probably find negative comments about me. But you know what I say to people? I'm here. You're sitting
Mm-hmm.
behind a computer with a hidden image. I'm doing this. I get paid for it. I get treated like a king. All my flights are paid for, hotels, drinks, food.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit and write whatever the hell you want about me. I'm still getting work. And this is still something that makes me proud.
Mm-hmm.
But haters, I'll tell you one thing. People always dance to express themselves with one another. We're not standing in front of a computer or a camera to impress you guys at home. There are people who do that. We call them showmen. And then we have social dancers like myself who are there to dance with people. We are on the other side of things. You compare me to a showman, it's not fair. It's like me comparing their partner level skills, which are not the same. So I just let it pass.
Mario, who other instructors? Which other instructors do you know in the industry who are like you, social dancers? I'm asking because I also come from those times. For me, social dancing was always magic. I was a performer as well, but I definitely connect a lot more to the social. And where are people like you?
Where are they?
Yes, where are they?
We have a lot of social dancers. Come on.
Yeah, but people who are like popular instructors, who
No,
move
you
people,
you
who
you have
travel.
a lot, Tanya. You have Panagotis is always dancing nonstop. Terry is always dancing. Mirto is
Mm-hmm,
always dancing. We have a lot. Fadi Fusion. I see them on the dance floor
mm-hmm,
quite a lot. Luis Vasquez. I mean, that man has been
mm-hmm,
dancing 5 or 10 years more than I have, but he's put me to shame like 2 weeks ago in Croatia because he was dancing much more than I was. We do have a lot of those. I mean, okay, there's an occasional few who don't, but I guess like everything in life, when there's something negative, we only stick to the negative being the majority.
mm-hmm.
We don't look at the other things out
Yeah.
there. No, 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 it's not true. I can't say that, but we do have a lot of people who dance out there. A lot of people who dance out
Mm-hmm.
there. But then also we have the ones who come at 4 a.m. They make the survivor shot. We have those people as well. Each to his own. I can't complain. So
Osbanis is saying hola. Hi, Osbanis. Osbanis din na
Osman is
nakaras tu
always on the
kami.
dance floor too.
Yeah. Falco, Super Mario Big Maestro.
Hey, bro, Falco, Osman is hi guys.
Um, okay, so Mario, what do you say to the bachata is taking over? No one wants to dance salsa anymore. We're having these discussions sometimes in the community after hours. What's your comment there? Get to what? Get
You
to work.
really want to fuck it in. you know, like I say, each to his own. But I believe there's a lot of things in salsa that we did wrong. That if we had not, bachata would have been
Hmm.
a side dance of salsa
Hmm.
always. Remember,
Okay.
bachata became popular only through salsa festivals. They never came out and started doing their own things.
And all of the big bachata names were salseros
They
initially.
were all salseros. Every one of them was a salsero.
Yeah.
Every one of them. Um, so for me, it's like I believe about 10 years ago. You know this for a fact because I mentioned it to you, Olu, Vladi. all you
Mm-hmm.
Congress promoters, I said, we need to change the music in our social dancing because at one point, if you remember right, the music was going a little too much dura, too fast, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Yeah.
also in some festivals the salsa room would be empty by 3 a.m. when the bachata room was busy because we went at it. The music was not, and people who were there at that time will definitely vouch to this. So I
Mm-hmm.
believe we somehow made it too much of a sport.
Yeah. Too fast, too
Yes, too
hard.
fast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the classes also were taking dynamics where they were leaving what exists and started taking it to evolution. They evolved it too much, where it
Mm-hmm.
became a little bit too stupid. Also, people were like, "Okay, I'm teaching the class to 600 people, but only 20 people can do it."
Mm-hmm.
The other 580 people were just lost in class, and they were like, "Okay, you know what? This is not for me. This is not," and they just left. You know,
Mm-hmm.
me and my wife, we do something very funny sometimes. We switch off the sound for a class, as a Mambo Fusion class or whatever. We turn off the sound, and now we like to show that to people who don't dance and ask them what these people are doing. 100%, nobody will guess it's salsa. You
Mm-hmm.
believe what I'm saying? Whereas when people imagine salsa, they see two people holding each other, smiling, and doing side to side steps, turning, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the portrayal of salsa. That image was lasting a long time.
When you
That
actually
was
have the time to move your body,
correct.
swing. Yeah.
Correct. Instead of all these dynamic movements that we have these days, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but the majority of the people, Anya, in festivals in the world are not advanced dancers. Their majority is always intermediate and lower. So if
Mm-hmm.
we cannot entice these people to come to the dance and enjoy this connection that I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
they will find the easier option. Salsa is easy, salsa is fun, salsa is everything. And I always say this to my students, but you have something and you feel secure about it, you won't go looking for anything else. Let it be bachata, kizomba, or bugaloo, or whatever it is. And I believe that's why in salsa we messed up. It was the teachers and the organizers who messed us up. And then
Mm-hmm.
bachata became popular. They were like, okay, you know what? We don't want to be with these guys anymore. Let's just do this 24 hours. And they are all very welcoming to each other. They take care of their own. They protect their people.
They
They
play a lot of music in the class. The
correct.
classes
Yes,
are,
exactly. Yes. And they're more connected.
yeah.
We were
Yeah.
more disconnected. So
This
this
is
just
something we should be inspired by as
100%
salseros.
correct.
Mm.
So in my classes in London, shines are like 15% of the class. I teach people how to connect because when they go to a party or whatever, they need to dance with people. If they come to
Mm.
elSol, they're going to meet a million girls there, a million boys there. They need to be able to dance with each other.
Mhm.
Okay, eventually when you get to the advanced level, then you can go to the parts that we're talking about where you can just fuse that into your dancing. Till then,
Mhm.
I think people should just make it fun, enjoyable, be able to go to socials and dance and that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what I'm doing in London right now. This is 1,000,000% the difference between what I used to do and now.
Let me read the comments here. Falco saying, "Be careful, I'm a bachatero." Uh, I'm doing bachasura, bachata con sabrosura. Let's see. Salsa DJ Andy, the music should be changed. He's writing in German. We should listen more to the dancers.
Salsa romantica.
Mm. Mario, when are you going to teach with Cuban music? Osbanis is asking.
Bro, I want to leave some work for you. I can't be taking your job as well. So you enjoy that, my man. I'll come.
You're sharing a city, right? You have your court here, and you should have
No,
it.
but when people come to me in London and they're like, Mario, we want to take Cuban classes. This guy is a legend. Osbanes is, he's a legend living amongst us. And I always tell people like, please go learn from him, and Aneta, of course, that if you want to learn it properly, we have him right there in London. So I do push
Mm.
everybody towards him. So Osbanes,
We
keep
have
doing what
some
you're doing.
we have some salseros. Elem Elena from Switzerland. Totally agree with Mario. Maya Sondi saying Mario is doing a wicked job. Um, the music is so important. And here we go. Harish Angle. Hello, Mario. What are some subtle aspects of salsa dancing that beginners often overlook? And how can I work on incorporating these into my own dance to reach an advanced level?
Keep working on connection, keep learning, keep practicing. Don't rely on videos, YouTube's, watching Instagram videos of people dancing. Don't get thrown off by all this, because your instructors are working on you developing yourself better. You should never ruin your learning procedure with all this extra stuff that you see, because yes, it's motivating, but it can also be demeaning, because now you have something to compare yourself against. Now those people have danced for 20, 25 years or God knows how long,
Or 40.
for sure. And then you put yourself in a situation where, like, I want to become like that in 2 weeks. It's not going to be possible, you know? Trust the process, learn with your instructors, whatever they're doing, believe the process, because I'm sure they know what they're doing. And once you get to a position where you feel that you're good enough to be able to take those things, that's a different material. But in the beginning, at least for the first a year and a half, 2 years, trust the process, because it is a process.
We have more input from the community. Thanks, you guys, for chipping in. Thank you, Osbanis is saying you love each other, obviously. Yes, Osbanis is an awesome brother. Richie from Holland says, Ben Williams, salsa music is great, but too often not acceptable enough to beginners. Do you agree?
1 million% absolutely right. Yes, there are music, there is, and now I'm happy to say, in festivals and events right now, thank God you organizers have finally put your heads together and realized we don't need 6 million artists and 2 DJs. We need 3 million artists and 2 million DJs, because those guys know their stuff, you know. And now I believe whatever our DJs are doing out there, it's welcoming the lower level people back to the dance floor again. And you can definitely see this with the numbers at events later on in the night, because I believe they're really, really doing an amazing, amazing job, the DJs right now. And yes, the beginners, the improvers, the intermediates, their classification of music has to be provided in every party. I believe that very, very strongly. So yes, music is everything for us.
Danny on Facebook is saying, buy all Mario's DVDs. It still works, I can tell you.
He's my biggest fan. Hi, Danny. How are you?
Mario, so who are your favorite DJs? Give me top five.
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I
top 10.
love them all. I love them all. I love whoever,
What's
like, really.
all? What's all?
Whoever's in every festival right now, the big ones, they are doing an amazing job, and I believe it's changing the salsa scene. Anya, trust me, whatever is taking over won't be taking over so long anymore.
So we have Mauri, Dimitri, Sergio, Cesar, Julian. Tell me, who am I missing? I mean, I can't have everyone.
Romero is there. DJ
Mm-hmm.
Romero,
Yeah.
DJ CC. These are all my
Mm-hmm.
favorites. My favorites, DJ CC. Um, I don't even
I'm
know who
make
you. I
I'm
don't even know who
making.
you named, but I'm going to just keep going.
Yeah,
Did
keep
you
going.
say Mario already?
Yes, yes,
Caesar, Julian,
yes, yes.
Willie.
Willie, which Willie? Holland
Both
or
of them,
Paris?
both of them, both of them. I love them both.
Yeah. Well, we don't have them. We can't fit everyone, but yeah,
Uh,
Willie's. We used to.
um, really, there's also DJ Morena from Slovenia. She also
Uh-huh.
plays very good social dancing music
Okay.
for people. We have some very, very good DJs.
DJ Morena. I have a problem as an organizer because the salsa DJs, they actually really like to play a lot. When I contract Kizomba DJs, they give you like 90-minute sets, and sometimes when you ask them kindly, maybe 1 hour. I mean, they really mix. Like they're really working
Yeah,
on it because they mix vocals from this song with that, so they're like making art. So it's exhausting for them. But in salsa, when I have 5 DJs, like for this year, it's like they don't play enough. When I have 7, it's
it's
almost
passion.
like,
It's
yeah, they don't
passion.
have space at all because they don't mind 3 hours. Yeah, I can play 3 hours. 2 sets, no
It's definitely
problem.
it's their passion, and I know
Yeah.
these. We know these DJs for millions of years now, and they're very passionate people with music and people as well. So sometimes we should just let them be on their sets, you know. So
Mhm. We have more comments. Parish Angle saying, I'm very lucky to be learning from Mario in London. Thank you.
Thank you,
We love
Krish.
you, Mario, says Osbanis. Al Abiro Dance. Thank you for the super interesting talk, Super Mario. Amazing lives as always. Also festivals. Thank you. Okay. Sen WTF. Okay. Super Mario Salsa Festival is a must to educate salsa dancers. His vision for creating a humble salsa community. Mario, let's do it together. Come on.
We should do a humble congress, a salsa
Exactly.
humble congress.
Humble, body positive Congress. Smart Congress. Okay. Joanny Maliska. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo tengo una pregunta. Okay, she has a question. For a woman, what are small tips for polishing how you look as you dance? I have only been learning for 7 months. I understand it won't happen overnight.
I'm going to speak in English. I'm so sorry I don't speak Spanish. But you know, dancing for everybody is like building a house. You start with the foundation, which is below the ground. You get to the foundation, then you start building the ground floor. Then you put another floor on top of that, put your windows, blah, blah, blah. The decoration should always be the last thing in your house. It should be the roof or the fancy balconies or the windows with the panels that look awesome. All those decorations should come after the house is built. So I know I'm going to upset a lot of women instructors out there, but ladies, teach your girls to stand first before they're throwing their hands in the air or doing all these fancy movements, because I know at the level that I see people teaching styling, if I walked into the room and sneezed, all of you will fall
Yes, it's
because
the
there's no
grounding
balance. There's
balance.
no
Balance.
grounding
Yeah.
balance at all with people these days. And when you have no grounding balance and you're trying to dance with a partner, what you're going to do is you're just going to keep yanking, pulling, being 200 kilos more heavier than you should be, losing confidence, things not working. Then you watch yourself in a video and it looks silly. You're going to lose all the fun factors because you just decided to put your hand up in the air at the wrong time or hit the guy in the face. I believe there's a time to learn styling, and that is not the first 2 years. The first 2 years, or maybe for us, it used to be much longer, Anya, remember? And then the styling factor comes a lot much after that. Now, there's a contradictory part to that where people can say, like, yeah, but in partner, when we go to classes, the partner work is totally focused here only for guys. We girls don't do anything. This is absolutely true. And I wish all the instructors in the world would think like I am for the last 5 or 6 years right now. I focus more on the ladies, on what they can and cannot do and what they should do. Like I create turns, Anya, like you saw me, I was teaching for you once recently. And
Mm-hmm.
you were like, where the hell do you come up with all this shit, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
this is what my creativity does. It makes me create something for the ladies. I don't create for guys anymore. So then I create for the ladies first. I see if it's doable, not doable. Then
Mm-hmm.
I create the partner work going backwards. So now the ladies can't say that they don't learn anything in class because there's always something for me to teach you. I just came back from Germany this weekend. I did a few things the ladies have never seen in their life before. So they were
Mm-hmm.
very impressed. And now they're like, okay, we need to go back to classes again, you know? So I believe the instructors should really put their foot down. And like I said, I really want to teach teachers how to do things in the social atmosphere. You know,
This is actually something that Karel is also pushing. That following is a skill. She teaches following in a partner work class, and then she gets called dominant because she speaks over Bruno. You
Bruno,
know, she says, "I'm like, I want to teach you how to follow." You know, it is assumed that the woman will talk only like 5% of the class, right, and the
one
rest is.
million percent. But also,
Mm,
Anya, one more thing: teaching dancers how to style is completely
mm,
different to taking a beginner off the street. I'm sure
yes.
there is no person in this world who can teach them styling at that level, at least for the first 10 months or a year.
Mm,
So, you know, all our brand names, all our branded names in
mm,
salsa, the ladies, I honestly feel they should all start teaching beginner classes. Really, they should.
mhm,
Because then
mm,
you have a right to say in the future, this is how you're going to look like. But if you just take dancers, that's, for example, Super Mario is creating, I'm teaching girls to go learn connections, speed, spins in a very fast level. But when they go to a styling class, they're not able to keep up because they don't know what those concepts are. So it's very
Yeah.
easy for people to teach all your drama at a high level, but nobody's doing it
Hmm.
at a lower level. And it's not fair that only a few of us have to work on this level, get called
Mm.
boring, get called like we're not dancers, we don't know how to
Oh,
dance.
this is
Yeah,
not marketing material. This is not flashy
correct,
enough for the
correct.
demo, right? Etc.
So it's easy
This
to
was.
talk. It's very
Mhm.
difficult to
Mm.
work on it. You know what I mean?
This was
So
actually, I'm really happy because I was trained by you when I assisted you the first classes in like 2004,
you're like
2003.
what, like 16
Because
years old?
yes, because you taught me the concept, and although I was a ballet dancer, but you actually taught me salsa. And I always also had this dilemma when I was in the congresses, which is why I never, as a teacher, as an artist, it wasn't really my space. It was very stressful for me because I didn't know if I was supposed to teach or perform or impress or entertain.
Correct.
You have the kind of personality with your wits and the way you talk that you found your place there amazingly. But I remember when my ex dance partner, when I taught a class about one specific movement, the release and contraction, that we use this
Yes.
a lot, and he says, yeah, I understand you were trying to do something valuable, but then when you record, remember that your next promoter is watching you. And I was like, oh my God, so my class was boring, right? Because the next promoter couldn't see how great of a dancer I am. And I thought, here's me thinking that I was doing something good for the people. This
Yes.
dilemma is in a local class you can actually teach. In a congress, it's like,
It's a different scene. Yes,
yeah.
correct. But like I said, I wish a lot of dancers, whatever, they really come down from their high horse to the real world, develop, take them, progress them, and then create them. That will be very a respectful way of doing things.
Mm,
Because honestly, it's my boys and my girls. I always tell people, you go to London at any social, somebody who's spinning like crazy is my student. They would not look great with styling, but
mm-hmm.
connection wise, you can't go wrong. And it's not fair that people think that they look boring and not dance with them. It's not right also. So I guess
Yeah,
there's a time and a
yeah.
place for everything, and I believe everybody should educate everything at a level when education is needed, not just styling there and spins
Mm.
here, and don't distract them. So whichever lady asked for that question, Miss, please learn salsa as grounding, as ground yourself as much as you can, and then add all the decoration to look good
Mhm.
much, much, much later.
Enjoy the process and keep
One
dancing.
million percent,
I
yes.
was I have this experience of being a beginner very fresh again when I got into kizomba. It's you think you're a professional dancer, but it has a different philosophy,
Yes.
different way of stepping. It was really hard. And I was like, styling for me was, of course, I wanted to look amazing, but I couldn't control the way I was shifting my weight.
It's completely
Uh,
opposite, right?
yeah, now after years and a bit, I can slowly start thinking about this when I'm not super lost as a follower. Being a professional dancer, it's that much
Yes,
effort.
yes. And everybody will struggle with that. Everybody will struggle with that, you know?
Yeah. Okay, let's read some more comments. Maya was saying, just Dimitri, fire. When we were DJ Willie, says Richie, when we were quoting the names. DJ Pepe, says Elena. Okay, scrolling. Maya also mentioned David Sayonasher, Salsa for Fun London. Okay. Ben, very grateful to Mario for valuing community building as an important part of salsa. Yes, we all are. Um, okay, scrolling down, scrolling down. Okay. Uh, Gracias, said the girl that you commented. I often feel that everyone is watching the follower and you need to look good. Feels like you're under pressure and you get into your own head and then end up apologizing to everyone.
Never apologize unless you see blood. That's what I always tell my students. Never apologize because nobody knows how hard you work. Nobody knows how hard it takes for you to go there and dance. And don't dance for anybody, dance for yourself. I always believe in that philosophy because only you know how hard you worked. So please don't judge yourself amongst anybody or against anybody. Just keep working hard, keep learning because when you become good, you know you're good. You know what I mean? And then you'll come out with a smile on your face where Just don't worry, okay? And also, I tell my people, my students always connection. They will always go back and ask somebody to dance again if the connection is right, not how good or bad he or she looked. It's all about the connection. So the music and the connection for me is everything. That's all.
Mhm. I'm looking at my notes because I'm kind of out of questions. We were
Ask
in
the
a
people
flow.
to ask something. I'm sure they
Yes,
have things to ask.
guys, ask Super Mario whatever you want to ask him. Why Mario, since Susana Montero hasn't been in a duet, working duet until your wife? You never had a fixed partner, right? After.
But I took a lot of pride in that though. I took a lot of pride
Yeah,
in not having a partner because when I go to a partner work class, I want to be able to pick up a random girl and do what I want to teach, which gives me a lot of respect from the people because they will know I didn't prepare a
yeah,
class or whatever. So I've always taken pride in coming to class like that without a partner. So yes, I like
yeah.
to be
It's
partner
your
free.
it's part of your brand.
My signature is.
Yes, yeah. I love actually assisting your classes.
Oh yeah, and whenever you're there, I always ask you. That goes without
Yeah.
saying, of course. Yes,
This is how I update my follower
skills.
software. What's new out there? Mario, what are your plans for the next 5 and 10 years?
And yeah, right now after COVID, I found this new energy that this community building. Before, I used to just come to London, teach my class, get out of there, spend my Tuesday at home, Wednesday, Thursday, wash, repack, Friday I'm out, I do my class. I never cared. Now I sit down with my students, we have something to eat, we have drinks, we talk, I get to know them personally. And it's so amazing that I never did this before. And I guess to be able to do that, I have to give up something, which is my travels. And I'm
Mm,
absolutely okay with that because I know by doing this with my people right now, it's giving me a lot of, I used to do this in festivals, but now I got my own people to do this with. So
yeah.
it's a brand amazing feeling that I have right now. And it's created this life in me that I wish you saw me last night in Bar Salsa, which was my party. I go there like a little kid every evening at 6 o'clock
Mhm,
and come out with this big smile on my face, knowing that X amount of people have come, learned something, danced, they're going home happy. And this excitement is just wow. And
mhm,
I'm loving all that right now. So I don't need festivals to make this happen for me anymore. So I'm guessing like everything I do in life is never a 6 month project. It's always a long-term project. So I am excited about this next 5, 10 years. Also from September, which nobody knows, by the way, I'm also going to open a mambo school in London. So giving up my weekends, I have to compensate for that somehow a different
mhm,
way with my time and economics. So I will start teaching on two now in London from September onwards. So anybody who wanted to learn how to do it properly, Eddie Torres is going to come back again through my mouth into my feet.
mhm.
So I'm looking forward to all those new challenges now. Yes,
So you're gonna be making UK super salsa friendly. London is back on the map.
we
There's,
were never gone, but we were lost.
there
You
was a
know,
quiet time. There was a
yes, it
quiet
was.
time.
It was
Okay.
the whole of the Europe had a quiet time. So
We have
now
a lot of questions. Rafa is saying, it's also about smart teachers like you. How much dancing a week is enough?
Rafa, it's never enough as much time as you give, but never compare yourself to somebody who takes classes 7 times a week to somebody who takes it one time a week. So ideally, I would tell people 2 times a week of classes and one or two socials at the end of the week, 3 times a week should suffice in developing your progress to a very, very good level where festivals and congresses should not get in your way. It should be something that you should be comfortably be doing. So then when you go to festivals, you should be absolutely
Mhm,
fine there. In the beginning, the first year, I believe at least once a week classes till you get used to your timing and all that kind of stuff, and then develop from there. But definitely, there's never enough, but minimum 2 times a week classes and maybe
mhm.
one or two socials into your resume.
Dan is saying Mario needs to write a teacher's guide. I'm buying it. Exactly. He's getting there. He's getting there. He's sitting now more at home. He'll do it. Okay. We have a lot on Instagram. Let's go. Thank you guys for asking. DJ Artist India, how do you make sure that connection is the same with every dancer you dance with?
Sorry, can everybody say hi to Mambo? Mambo, say hi.
Oh, it's
Say hi,
adorable.
Mambo.
Ah,
Say hi. This is
hi.
my new baby. This is my new baby.
Mm.
There you go. He's going to play a game now. Okay, sorry, Anya. Tell me again.
How do you make sure that connection is the same with every dancer that you dance with?
It's not. Um, Everybody has a different skill, different level of connection. As that's why I always tell people, especially for the leaders, your technique is something that you develop, you build, you keep, and you don't change. But what you change with your social dancing connection is the skills of your partner, or her weight transfer, or the way she's holding you, or whatever. You work on that connection based on how much she can and cannot do without giving up your technique. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your partner is the most important thing, and vice versa, the opposite as well. Ladies, don't give up your technique because your partner is a lower level dancer, for example. You work with the skills he's showing you and he's doing with you. So you have to have a different connection with every partner, because if you had the same connection, it would be super boring. So, guys, if you're leading with say number five all the time, if you're dancing with a lady who's dancing on number seven, you have to go plus one, which is number eight, because she's going to be a little bit nervous. So I have to lead her. So I got to go on one number
Mm-hmm.
more than her. If she's dancing at number two, I got to come down to number three and dance with her there. So you can't be stuck the way you always dance. You work on your technique, work, technique, 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 and then make those adjustments, which are very easy if your technique is very strong. So that's how I look at it, and that's how I train my students.
Tatiana Pismanovska is saying, yes, for me, the feel, not the look, is important in a dance, which is all about connecting and responding to the music together with a dance partner. Yes. Brisa, Tropical. How do you feel when you see the cue to dancing with you?
A what?
The cue to dance with you.
How do I
The line.
feel?
Yeah.
Um, in the beginning, it was very impressive. I was very thrilled. I was very happy. And then there was a period when I told you already, the music just became a bit weird. And I always told my students, dance because you want to, not because you have to. So it became like the music was not great, and then I have all these people waiting to dance with me. And for me, it's always been about the music. You play 8 hours of Mark Anthony, I will dance with a million girls in that party. But you play all this Wawanko Dura and all this stuff that I don't like, even one person becomes like work. You know what I mean? Even
You
that
know
one.
what? Regarding the music, I always feel a bit embarrassed because I love salsa romantica,
Of
and there
course.
is like this concept, that the real salseros like the salsa dura and a lot of drums and percussion and this.
It's
And
not
for
true.
me, as a woman, like I respond a lot to the lyrics, to the poetics of the
Yes.
songs. I
Melody
like
also.
melody. I'm not so crazy about this, also because I don't understand percussion. If I was a percussionist, right, I could probably
Yes.
sense the little details, and then, but I don't have that kind of musical background. But I always felt a bit embarrassed to admit this, or even the elSol was criticized for a while that the music is too romantic, too boring. The new generation wants bam, bam, bam. So
I'm
I
not
don't know.
saying
There are
just play
people who,
romantica all night.
yeah,
I'm not saying
yeah.
that, but I'm just saying mix it up in a way. I mean, Adolfo said this once. He's like, I have to perform to on stage because it's a performance. When I come to the dance floor, I don't want to do that shit, but people misunderstand that he wants that
Hmm.
kind of it's not. He's like, I'm happy with just any low level mambo, he's
Yeah.
happy. Yamule Osmar said the same thing. He's like, people think they want him to come to the floor and dance to all this.
Do his show
Great.
again.
No, it's completely the opposite. And I'm so happy our DJs, I told you already, they have understood this, they have changed it, they have made it a very beautiful place to dance again. And now I don't care about the lines and stuff anymore. So
Hmm. When do you come to Portugal?
not now, it's all changed, my man. Whoever's asking this question, but you guys have
Uh,
to come to London now.
Paula,
So
you have to come to elSol.
you have to come to elSol. For sure. I'll be there, yes.
Someone is asking if Mambo can join the call, your dog.
He's in a playful mood right now,
Yeah.
so no, bad idea.
Okay, Phil Stewart, how often are you changing t-shirts in the social? I change, but after 2 songs, I'm soaked again. Doesn't seem worth it or ecologically sound.
It's fun, bro. You're having fun there. I mean, if you don't want to change your shirt, dance 2 times, stay out for 5 songs, 6 songs, go to the bathroom, dry yourself, and come back again. Or just walk out of the door. I'm sure you'll dry out. I used to believe the more t-shirts you change, the more fun you're having. So that's how I work with.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. We all sweat, right? But
Absolutely, yes.
when the sweat is like really
It's a
also
positive
cold,
energy.
and when it's like really flowing down your body, it's not also nice. At some
No,
point,
no,
it's like
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah.
okay, Mondays start our week off right. I guess that's one of your students talking about Monday classes. Hello, Mario. I've been wondering, how do you go about creating new moves? What's your thought process in doing so?
It's a very long process, actually. And believe it or not, everything that I create has come through mistakes on the dance floor. Everything, everything. I demonstrate this to my students in London, and they actually see the whole picture of this whole process. So, for example, I've created something on a dance floor with somebody I don't know. The only difference is I remember these things. So I take it back, I go to the side, I quickly put it in my brain, I bring it back home, I check it out with my wife, I ask her, like, how does it feel? And then I go through the fact that I ask her, okay, now tell me what all the followers will do wrong. And she's very good at this. So she will just loosen up completely, or she will start spotting somewhere else, and then I will adjust a few things. Then I take it back to the social dance floor with the adjustments. I try it for about 3 or 4 months in different countries. Of course, I bring back all that information. And then at some point, I know how to lead it. Then I teach it to my students in London, and then they will make mistakes from a learning capacity. Then I correct those things. When everything works, the world gets it. And that's a whole process, takes about 5 to 6 months.
It's amazing when I talk to successful people in our industry, it actually becomes clear how much work they actually put in. Everything you're saying, like you see them and you think it's talent, it's a popular video, it's a lot of work,
A lot of
and
work, yes.
it goes for
And people
all of
people think me and Christina sit at home and we're just coming up with all this stuff. No, it's not. It's actually, it comes from the dance floor, goes back to the dance floor, gets filtered, and then comes back as a class to you
Mm,
guys.
mm. And then you also experiment locally with your
1 million
students
percent, 1 million
in
percent.
in a different environment before you take it
Yes.
to a congress. Okay, Susie, what do you think of all the performance teams nowadays? Seems like all the advanced dancers are doing team, and the only way of progressing to keep progressing is it is the team.
I had this conversation yesterday with one of my students. You know, Performance is a skill, it's an art. It's a completely different skill and completely different art to social dancing. I always tell people, please don't social dance on the stage. And I tell performers, please don't perform on the social dance floor because the skills are completely not related to each other. If you're going to perform, you have to learn your lines, your spots, your location, your dynamics of the stage, etc., etc. Social dance floor is open to everybody, so everybody should be able to just express themselves socially. You know what I mean? And on performances, you have a specific dynamic of having to hit accents, movements, your lines, your decorations. Is completely different. So when you're learning a performance, don't misunderstand that you're developing the social dancing skill. It's not. You are learning a choreography to a song, which is good discipline. You're disciplining yourself to go regularly to rehearsals, practice, synchronizing, all those kind of stuff. But some people misunderstand performance skills to be developing social dance skills. It's not. It's not like that. It's a completely different skill, and everybody should recognize that very, very fast.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay. A lot of people
Uh,
also, Anya, during COVID, they were doing a lot of shines on online classes and
mhm.
stuff like that.
You said it was going to be a generation of solo dancers.
Yes,
I
you
remember.
know what I mean? They came out after this COVID and they were like, oh yeah, I'm a mambo dancer. And then they came to my class, I evaluated them and I'm like, I'm sorry, but what? Just dancing by yourself doesn't mean you've developed a skill. You have to develop this partner dancing skill completely differently.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember these talks we had. Okay, is it necessary to perform a salsa song even if it's one time in your lifetime?
It's a personal skill. If you guys want to try the performing aspect of things, please be honest about it and go learn it. If you enjoy it, do it. If you don't, leave it. I think everybody should try everything: salsa, bachata, kizomba, performing, non-performing, whatever, teaching. Try it. If it doesn't work, don't do it.
Alex, how do you remember all the moves? As a relatively new dancer during socials, I forget all but the most basic moves.
When you started salsa, those basic moves were something you couldn't remember either. The reason you remember it is because you practiced it. And the reason you keep doing it is because you liked it. So when you go to a class, keep taking classes, there are always elements that you're going to like. When you like something, your brain will tell you to practice it. You will do it, you will learn it, and then it becomes part of you. So I don't remember anything. I don't teach my students to remember anything. We don't make videos after class because it gives us the the reason to keep practicing the same thing over and over again.
That is actually so good because then people really have to focus, remember, like use their brain while they're dancing and not just take out the
Yes,
video because then they become also lazy. They know, oh, I'll record it.
1,000,000% lazy.
They
Yes.
never practice later because in daily life you don't really have the time.
And the worst
But
thing is, while they're in class, they don't concentrate because they know
yeah,
they're going to make a video. So it's all negative. There's
yeah,
nothing positive about it. So, people, you want to get better at dancing? First of all, stop filming videos after class. Practice
mm,
a lot. I mean, 1% of a class is a lot to like and remember. Put
yeah.
that into your dance. And then all these things that you like will become part of something that you want. And then technically, with that likes, you can create much more. So,
Mm. It's amazing, that scarcity sometimes it's the best educator. It's a general concept in society. Sometimes people from poorer environments, not pathologically poor, but poorer, will be more appreciative of the opportunities in life they get than the people who have everything.
yes.
And the same goes now for dancing. I remember when we had little, one VHS,
Everybody
one
came to your
cassette,
house.
or when you had to take notes from the class to remember, like actually with a pen in a
Yeah,
notebook. There was no electronic devices. Then we really valued, appreciated, and mastered a certain routine because it was one or two that we had. Right now, you're bombarded with so
too
much online
much, too
training
much, too
that
much.
you don't like. I feel so overwhelmed. Sorry, I had to reject a call. Sorry, I hope you
Yes.
can hear me. Yeah, I
No,
had to
now,
reject.
yes.
We have so much that we end up not taking anything from there. That we end up not appreciating, learning slower, or not learning. It's crazy. I mean, it's something to be aware of that generally in life, in terms of abundance of information, of access. It's actually
Do you
really
agree?
important to
Do
be
you agree?
selective.
Do you agree, Anya, that before social media, people danced better,
Hmm.
and now we have so much of tools, so much of ways, so much of opportunities, and people are not as good as they were before, which is very mind blowing for me because I think we're using the materials and the tools wrong.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, some of it is good because
it's
this is
inspiring.
great.
It's
It's
inspiring.
inspiring,
Yes,
great marketing. It's nice to get their dance out there, but I think we got more a deeper experience from it when it wasn't
absolutely.
to watch. It wasn't visual. You were just in a moment and you weren't wondering, oh my God, such an amazing dance. Is someone filming it? Because I want to remember this amazing dance. You just had to have it in you
Last
for
week,
you.
last week, last week, I was teaching. I just decided to teach a footwork class, and it's become a bit crazy on on Instagram right now. I just decided to do a footwork class, and it was a class I took with Eddie Torres, senior, 25 years ago. I mean,
Hmm.
and when I learned it, we practiced it. Me and Leon Rose, we were practicing that shine for so many years that I'm happy to say that it's still inside me, like because we practice everything. We didn't rely on a video. It was all
Yeah.
something that came out naturally, just
Mhm.
like you guys. So
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And then it really stays. Okay, what more questions? Do you have any tip for followers who go home and have to practice on their own? That's something I personally struggle with, as I really value the connection with the person I'm dancing with.
yes, there are things you can practice. For example, your grounding techniques, for example, just learning how to spin on one foot or turn the other way. And there are exercises you can do. So if you come to London, I will definitely show you what those exercises are. But there are a lot of things you can do. And then you take this practice to the dance floor. It will make you better. Your confidence will go up to another level. This will make you feel good about yourself also. But there are a lot of things you can do. Correct. Yes, you can.
You teach privates, Mario?
Very occasionally, very
Mm-hmm.
rarely. And I do it in festivals mainly because I have a lot of time there. In London, I don't have time, so I don't do it in London so
Mm-hmm.
much. But when I go to festivals, I always do have privates lined up, always, yes.
Okay. How different is dancing to music versus dancing to counts? What should one do uh, if you're relatively
You need
new
counting in
base?
the beginning to be able to understand every aspect of the lead or the follow. So you do need the counts to start with, and then eventually, progressively, the music will start coming into your system. Then, when you go deeper into it, you start understanding the soft beats and the heavy beats. And then, when you go more into it, the melody and the rhythms, it can develop, but it needs time. In the lower levels, don't complicate your life so much with this. Stick to your counts because counts are logical, and you need your body to understand the logics first before you start understanding the rhythms and the melodies. So take your time, especially when you're in the beginning. Use numbers, use counts, because if you are foreign to the music, you have to understand the music itself. So learn that slowly also over time. Correct.
Mhm. Iron Moms is saying hi. He's a kizomba dancer and
Kizomba guy,
DJ.
what's up, bro? You
Yes,
good?
yes. Any more questions, guys? This is really interesting. It's making the conversation. Oh, here we go. Salsa Cape Town. Any tips to help retain dancers and grow the scene in smaller scenes, cities? It's a good one.
I hate it when people say like, "Oh, but you live in London and there's a lot more people." And yes, there is, but you work you work. If I was to come to a smaller town or a smaller city, I would work exactly the same way I'm doing right now. So, you guys would be like, oh, but you're Super Mario. And no, guys, I don't work with that. In London, when I invite new beginners to my classes, they don't know who I am or what I've done, or I don't stand in front of them and tell them who I am. I make them fall in love with me as a completely new person and the dance which is coming out into them through me. So I work on this very, very much. If you make salsa very serious in the very lower levels, no one's going to come back. Yesterday, I asked the couple that came from Croatia to London, the bachata teachers, and they teach salsa also. I asked them a simple question. I said, when you teach bachata, do you smile more than when you teach salsa? And every person will say yes to that, which to the people's face is, oh, my teachers are enjoying bachata more. They're very serious in salsa, so I don't like it so much. You're already creating this,
Oh my
this
God, that's
division
why do they smile less in salsa?
because it's serious. They're trying to put a serious aspect into the dance. Guys,
Uh-huh,
keep your hands here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. They make it very serious. And
uh-huh.
bachata is like, okay, let's hold each other. Let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
do. I've seen this so much, Anya. It's like ridiculous. And I ask all the bachata teachers who teach salsa and all the salsa teachers who teach bachata, and everybody's admitted that they show more favoritism towards bachata than salsa when they're teaching. Little things like this you guys don't understand, but if you show big smiles, big love for salsa, everybody falls in love with that. If you keep it small-minded and differentiate it so much, then of course we're going to have problems in this dance
That
world.
is such a good aspect. We're gonna quote it later, guys. Control your face as you're teaching.
One, no,
Okay.
or your
No,
enthusiasm,
just be real. Yeah, be real. I mean, okay. As a leader, do you prefer a certain follower style? Does one feel better than the other? For example, the old, elegant, and small style versus the new, bigger, more Afro Latin type. Mario and Afro Latin type. Okay, I wanna hear about this.
anybody,
Go.
I really, Anya, you give me a chair who's smiling, and I would have an amazing dance. To somebody who's decorating the dance too much, it's I don't know what is in their mind, if they're trying to impress me, or there are people watching, or the cameras, or
I
for
think
me,
someone taught them that this is good. I mean, that's
yeah.
the reason.
If
Someone
for me,
taught them.
it's the simpler the better. If somebody dances in a simple format, good connection, stay light, be grounded, good technique, I can have the most fun in my life than somebody who's overeducated, too much drama, too much styling. Okay, styling is very personal. I'm okay with people doing that when we separate for each other. But when you're holding me, don't use me as your styling mechanism. I'm not a pole, to pole dance on.
What is
If
it that
somebody,
they do? Do they like
it's all here.
twist?
It's all
Oh, okay. So they will pull or push.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Twist, do whatever the hell you want to. Don't use me. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
feel you any more than
Mm-hmm.
the weight of your hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want you to be on that level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to use me
Mm-hmm.
to balance your backward movement. Or
Okay.
can you believe
Okay.
women move me off my basic me, and I'm like 150 kilos. They
Oh
move
shit.
me out of my steps because they can't balance
Uh-huh.
themselves. So for
Mm-hmm.
me,
Yeah.
it's education. That's it. Understand that it's very important.
Yeah. I recommend Pilates for balance.
Without using a pole or a wall. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the power within you. Okay. We have a lot. Wow, guys, you're amazing. Here we go. We adore you, Shay says, even when you torture us.
Shorty, what's up?
May I ask you if you know a place in London where we can dance salsa to live bands? elSol in Katowice. We have two live bands. Friday, Elito Reve is Charangon, and Saturday, Tromboranga. And Mario is bringing a group from London.
Oh no, we're
But
bringing a big group. We're
yeah,
coming. Don't
so
worry.
you can just come with Mario. But
We're representing. Yes.
that wasn't the answer, I think. Any place in London, Mario, with live music?
There used to be one place in Dean Street. I forgot the name of the place. Please personal message me and I'll find out and I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay.
Just write me personally and I'll find out for you.
Okay, Alejandro, do you play all kinds of salsa music during your lessons, romantica, timba, etc., or do you stick to one type specially?
No timba. We don't use timba music. We use all kind. We use salsa romantica, modern mambo, old mambo, all that kind of stuff we use. Yes.
Hmm.
A
Can
lot
you
of fun. Yes.
can you elaborate on the meaning of grounded when it comes to dancing? Chicago Salsa Congress is asking.
Okay. Prime example is Magna Gopal.
Mm-hmm.
You can try to push that girl off her basic, you won't succeed because she has very good grounding techniques. When you have good grounding techniques, you can improvise a lot, which is what she does. Musically, Terry, for example, he's super grounded. You can't
Mm-hmm.
push him off his basic, not because he's whatever, but because they have good grounding techniques. And these are usually developed with independency. So, for example, double turns for boys or girls, I teach them in such a way where the girls are not dependent on the guy's lead for the turns itself. They learn to do the turn by themselves, and this helps them stay grounded with folded knees. And getting them off balance is completely, it shouldn't be so easy. You know what I mean? So that way, when you're dancing with somebody, if you make a mistake, you can correct those mistakes with your movements. So grounding, there are again techniques. Please come to London. I will teach you all those things. There are a few things we do here that helps me and my students understand what that means. But yeah, it's got to happen here or in elSol. If Anya gives me a class, I can have this conversation with you.
About grounding?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I mean, let's make one class about that. Okay, here's another one. Have you ever taught a bachata class in your life?
In your dreams.
That is, I think that's a no. Mario always laughs when he is forced to teach footwork class with
For
his
example, in salsa itself.
in balanced class. When he has a lot of women or so. What is elSol? elSol starts on the 9th of November. It's a Thursday. It's already one of the festival's big parties. And we finish on the 13th of November, early morning on Monday. Actually, we're also doing a pre-party on Wednesday and an after party on Monday after the event. So it's a full week of dancing.
Can I say something, Anya, here?
Yeah.
Guys, there's a lot of people after COVID who started very recently and probably watching these videos or probably going to watch these videos. It's one of our favorite events of the year. Social dancing is at a very high level, DJs, bands, classes, people. So if you've never, I know a lot of people are in the testing mode right now. Like we've just finished Croatia and you guys are on a super high. Please consider elSol because it has been one of those events that has provided a lot of artists, a lot of teachers, a lot of people to come and social dance. This woman really cares about everything: the floor, the light, the sounds, the stage, the amount of shows you guys watch, her afternoon Stargate shows, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying this because she's here, but please think about elSol because it is an amazing event. It was something that in Europe has consistently been very, very good and has always had 5,000 plus people. So it's a huge event. It's a very, very huge event. The energy is amazing. So please come check it out. Okay. So yeah,
Thank you, Mario.
she doesn't promote this much herself, but I can happily do that for her. So
Thank you. Yeah, we try to create the best experience possible in all dance styles, and salsa has
Anya,
always
there's a
been the
lot of
leading style.
people. Anya, there's a lot of people here who haven't danced pre-COVID. So
Hmm.
all these events are new to them. They don't know
It's
what is going on. So
it's like an
you need
adventure.
to reach them. You need to reach them.
It's like a journey around the world in 5 days.
And all Cuban dancing people, she has an amazingly huge Cuban lineup, and they have 4 or 5 rooms where they teach different levels of Cuban,
Also
Afro, social.
with live music and very detailed Afro-Cuban education. We have a special manager that does this for us. I mean, Cuban insiders. So the names of all the dance are gonna have like arara, and
All folklore,
it's
folkloric
yes,
dances.
it's very specific, and it's also to live music. So we're really trying to give you a full experience, and
There you go, Shay.
there's going to be
She's a Cuban dancer, so I just gave a shout out to her. So
okay. We
bring
have
the
a
whole
spread.
Cuban community, okay?
Yeah, Osbanis and Annette are coming also, so you
Yes.
can join them. You can ask them where and what. We're on our website. We're also pointing to the closest hotels. You can reserve them with us, so you stay in the crown. The venue is huge, spacious, very modern. It
It
has
was huge.
humongous. It has excellent catering. There's food almost 24 hours. There's gonna be pizza until 1 a.m. So basically, in the venue, you can we're gonna take care of all your needs. We're gonna feed you. We're gonna give you drinks, coffee, teach you, inspire you. You can watch competitions, not only Stargate shows, but we also have a social competition now. Where we judge dancers individually, but they dance. Everyone dances with everyone. And actually, when we talk about social skills and following and leading, when I was judging the first edition in March, it was so clear that I saw a girl. I was like, "Wow, she dances! Very expressive. She has a lot of the Afro-Cuban movement." But then I'm when I keep watching her dancing with other partners, I'm seeing, okay, she is dancing her own thing all the time. She's not really dancing with a partner. So when you're judging the social skills, you can immediately say, when you observe a person, what is it that they're doing, like not connecting, for instance.
All my boys and girls will join that competition. Trust me.
Yes, we're doing it on Friday. It's going to be fun. um, Someone says, Mario, you have an amazing expression. The way how you speak about dance is hypnotizing.
Thank you.
What is a type of salsa that doesn't use Afro moves? I'm not really into that.
No comments. It's an involvement. It's an involvement. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, currently, right, the onto the crossbody salsa style is actually something where you don't have to dance Afro. It came more from the Cuban fusion, but some dancers, as they learn, they're inspired. They are kind of putting it in. I don't think that Afro matches leading and following. It's an artistic interpretation of music.
Correct.
Then when dancers speak the same language, meaning they're both educated in this Afro dance, then they can connect. But it's very hard to dance them
Very
together.
rare. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Afro is not really for the
But
partner
again,
work.
it's a skill. It's an art. It's an education
Yeah.
that has to be learned separately from the correct teachers. Osbanes is perfect for that. This man knows that shit. Okay, so if you guys are going to learn it from the masters. You know, it's very important.
Okay, we have more. Would Super Mario smile teaching bachata?
Huh?
Would Super Mario smile teaching bachata? I think
Oh,
we
I'll be
would.
smiling all the time. I don't know about the teaching part, but
Okay, elSol is a great event. We've been before. Big stage, lots of social dancing, lots of space to dance. Chicago Salsa Congress. Thank you. These are my buddies on the other side of the ocean. Thank you. Nice to hear. Given the abundance of types of salsa, may I ask if you would recommend a progression path? Currently, I have planned on one, on two, and then cha cha cha. Would you suggest a different path, one that is more efficient?
that's the path I took. I learned how to dance Cuban first because 26 years ago, salsa was just very new in Europe. And I learned very basic Cuban movements. Then I progressed to on one, thanks to Mr. Luis Vasquez, who was my mentor or my eye opener. And then after 2 or 3 years of that, the on two, I went to New York to Eddie Torres. I learned with him for a little while and Nelson Flores. And then I took that path. I still love both. Nobody can ask, no, everybody asks me, do I like this or that? I don't. I love both of them. And I love dancing both of them equally well. And yesterday, Christina, my wife, she said, she danced with somebody at a party yesterday. And she said, oh, he was a very good on one dancer. He had the on two flow. So people who dance on one can also create and learn that flow that on two people have and talk about, you know? It's not two different things. I tell my students always to learn both. I actually do teach them both. Their choice afterwards is up to them. But that path
So,
is correct, yes.
so Mario, what is your choice to dance on one or on two?
I don't care, Anya. I really don't care. I can do both. I can teach both. I can dance both. I dance both equally the same way. I
Yeah,
mean, the
but when you have a
flow,
choice, like with me, you dance on two, for
because
instance.
you like it,
Hmm.
you know? Um, I believe when you dance on two, there is a smaller, there's a softer emptiness there where the
Hmm.
lady is not very technically gifted or whatever.
Busy. Okay.
She would prefer to dance on two. So yes,
Okay.
I do what my partner prefers. You know,
Okay. Let's see more questions. Can we come for drop-in classes when we travel to London, Mario?
of course you can. Yes.
Dates of elSol again, 9 to 13th November. You guys can take a look on our website and also on the event on Facebook, mid-November. Okay, questions finished here. Any more final questions, guys? Because we wrap up and let Mario go on about his day.
Let's go 5 or 10 more minutes. It's okay.
Yeah. Um, what is it that I would like to ask? Crazy, I have been thrown. I
You
haven't
get like
thrown.
super excited, right? You don't know what to say, what to do. Shoot,
Yeah, because like I'm thrown out of my flow, but it's good because it's a community's flow. So now I have to like. So Mario, which other events are you going to now? Um, this next 6 months.
I have a few events that I've signed contracts with that I can't come out of. I
Hmm.
don't know everything from the top of my head at the moment, but Berlin will be definitely one of them. I'll be in elSol for sure.
Hmm.
I have no idea, guys. It's
So
probably smaller events
how
that.
are you going to choose now your events? Is it the relationship with the promoter or is it the
No,
country?
no, I'm trying to be very,
What?
very fair.
Hmm.
I've known you for 20 odd years, so elSol is part of my career, my life, whatever. So I wouldn't miss it.
I
Same goes to
appreciate it.
Croatia. I've been with them for 20 years, so I'm not going to miss that one either. And Berlin, Franco, of course, was somebody who gave me a stage and a performance to teach platform. So those three definitely are something that I
Hmm.
would be in. 100% you will find me in these three events. And then maybe one or two I will make out of choice, maybe in time or
Hmm.
something like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
But that's about it.
Do you have any favorite events in Asia or US? Anything you're just
US is out of the question because I got barred from there like 100 years ago, and I plan on not going back there anymore. All my friends tell me like bachata is big there, so that's not the place for me.
where?
Asia,
Where? Say that
the
again
US, the
because I had
US,
a
the
call.
US, the
The US.
US,
Bachata is big in US?
super
Okay.
big.
Okay.
Asia, I love Singapore. I really have so much of love for that country. But it's too far. I don't want to fly, and it tires me. And so, no, I'm just going to stick with Europe for a little while.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe I'm going to miss this life of travel. Maybe, I don't know. But at the moment, 2024, I'm not taking any more festivals, any more bookings. I'm rejecting everything I'm getting. I just want to take some time off. I want to see how this new life is. Also, I want to spend more time with my wife. Maybe that will be beautiful. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But if it's not, I can always call somebody and say like, look, I can take one job a month or something like that, just to have a little bit of space, you know. So
Mhm.
it's all floating in the air right now. London salsa, my wife, mambo, and my
But
football.
I
Yes,
think, I mean, I salute you because I think it's a beautiful transition, and it's also like the honest change that we have in life. When I did my performing years, actually after 6 months, I already said, okay, I have to reduce because I have no life. I have a business. I'm doing my thesis. Uh,
mother.
then I became a mother, and it was like there was no space for anything else. And it's great that you have the talent and the vision to be in the community because we love what we do, you know, and it's we can fulfill this passion also not necessarily jumping on a plane every Friday. Like I also enjoy being at home raising my two kids and thinking of a dog and still being in the world of dance. You know, this is the festival, this community.
Sure.
Yeah.
You won't believe how excited I am
Yeah.
just to be home on Friday this week. I'm not traveling anywhere, and I'm like, I can't wait. You know, it's like I wish you guys would understand this emotion I'm having right now,
Yeah.
because if I was to travel on Friday this week, I'll be thinking already about my
Mm.
washing, the flight, the this, the that. You know, the whole. It's like, you know,
Mhm. I can totally understand. When I go somewhere, I'm thinking already on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm already stressing
yeah,
because it's and I think when you are in the rhythm, when you do it all the time, you don't realize the toll it takes on you
correct.
because you don't stop to reflect on it. I used to also do this a lot, and now I see how much tension it causes in me. So so Mario, you know, I'm happy that you
Yeah,
have your way and
I'm
you
very
know.
happy. I'm very happy. Somebody asked
Now
me what's my football team. Manchester United.
I thought he meant your new babies, the
No,
football
no,
team that
football
you're
team,
gonna make.
football team. Yeah. I
Okay,
need to stop it.
okay. So,
Somebody asked a question down here. I can't read the rest of it.
yes, I'm reading Super Mario. Where when you are in a very high level of partner work, it's like you want to start create your own figures. Like,
When you what?
do you want to start creating your own moves when you're in a very high level of partner work?
You should have the talent and the skills to be able to do it. So we have exercises like this with my students in London that we play, where I take them to a certain part of a combination, and then I say, okay, guys, you have 10 minutes, create your own. So using their talent and their skill and their technique, you should be able to get into that. That's why, guys, technique is very important, because you have two hands, she has two hands. When you are technically gifted or you get yourself to a good level of technique, the creativity is just, you won't even believe how much you can create. This should never be about just Super Mario or Adolfo or Terry or it should never be about that. It should be always heading to a place where it becomes your own dance, you know. And it's very important that you guys learn that. And I'm sure my London boys and my London girls understand this 100%. So please come to London, because we always have people coming in from other countries to come and train with us here for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever. So please come here, and I'll show you how it's done. It's very simple. It's very easy.
Super Mario Teachers Academy. It's coming. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Not
Mario,
even in my head. Not even in my head.
I'm gonna sell it for you. Just make the program.
Not even in my head.
No, but the way you talk, it's like a natural follow up. Hey Mario, as a lead, what's the best way to add flow to a dance as a lead?
Use the empty counts that you don't count normally. If you're dancing on one, use the four and the eights, because that's where the empty counts are. Your movement actually happens on those numbers. If you're dancing on two, it'll be on the one and the five. Use those numbers as well, because then you understand when it's empty, I can use it for a movement, you know? So yes, there is something that is available. Come to London again. I'll show you where it is, because a lot of people just do this 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, the robotic movement, and they don't
Hmm.
use the four and the eight where the flow comes into game. You know, And that is something, again, it takes time to get into your system. It doesn't come like this. First, you have to understand the basics of the 1, 2, 3 before you can add the 4 into your dance. So it takes a little bit of time, unfortunately. For some
Super
people, this
Mario
takes.
Teachers Academy coming up in 2026.
She's on it.
Thank you both. This was an awesome time we spent hearing your views and dance philosophies, the Q&As. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, let's see the last questions. Someone saying, Riyadh, have you ever thought of to organize festivals, the Congress in the UK?
No, hasn't
Why
even crossed my mind.
not?
It's very difficult. What these people do is just,
I can do this. Come on,
I know,
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. I'll come over.
I respect you guys. I told Christina this yesterday. We were in a car with a friend. I don't know how Rovin does 2.5 weeks when I can't do a social for 4 hours, and I'm like, so stressed out in those 4 hours, and you guys do it for like 3, 4 days, the whole year you're planning, and I
It's
respect you
okay.
guys. I respect you guys
No,
very,
but
very.
seriously, when my son grows bigger, he's 5. A lot of people ask me if I ever wanted to take elSol internationally, and it's a good concept. I like
Oh,
this.
why not? It can
Uh,
be done. Yes.
Finding like the good local partners. So Mario, we need to do elSol London edition.
Then in the
Think about it.
elSol version, you won't have all the Londoners coming in. But
Why
yes,
not?
I think it's a good idea. But you know what, Anya? Don't joke.
Yeah.
It's a good franchise. It's a good idea, actually. Yes,
Mm.
it's a very good
Mm.
idea.
So, guys, I'm looking for partners in your people who move the community locally. Let me know.
Look, let's talk about your event before you finish, because a lot of
Yeah.
people, like I said, are not completely aware of your event, how big it is, the scale of what you do, and where you're moving this year. Some people are bought tickets to Warsaw. Did you know that?
No,
Yeah,
no,
some
I
people have
didn't know
bought
that.
tickets to Warsaw because they think also the name elSol Warsaw has been something that people have got used to.
This
So
is yeah. We have a rebranded already last year to elSol Festival. It's Katowice, guys. It's all communicated on the website. It's right in the center of Katowice. There are 10, 11 hotels available. We actually have a pinned post on Instagram. There is a tour of the hotels. There is also a tour of the venue where I'm just showing you around. And get a flight to Katowice or Krakow. It's an easy transportation from
can you
there.
say that in the English pronunciation,
Uh,
not a
Ka- uh,
Polish pronunciation?
okay, so you say that. What did I
No, I
say?
don't know. Katowice?
Katowice?
Yeah, that's the
Katowice?
name of this airport, or
Yeah.
Krakow? Krakow.
Krakow. Kraków
KRA,
in
yes.
Polish. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So not Warsaw this time.
How
Thank
many
you for
Mambo artists
listening.
do you have?
Well, I have 200 artists in total. So I guess Mambo makes it about 50, 60.
Cuban?
Cuban 30, bachata 20, kizomba 20, and then we have the musicians, and then we have DJs. So it's going to
And
be
how many
crazy.
hours do people typically sleep on your event?
Uh, I don't know, 3, 4 a night if they're lucky.
If they're lucky, yes.
Maybe 1 in the afternoon or in the
But
evening.
now you have afternoon socials too, right?
Yes, so we have different crowds. We have people who come for workshops, and then they come to the parties, they watch the shows, maybe the concert, they try to sleep around 3, 4, and then get up for 12 o'clock. And then we have people who just come to parties. So they will come to the party at 1 or 2 o'clock. They dance till 9 a.m. because we close the main floors at 7, and then till 9 a.m. we have after party, still in the venue, just in a smaller space. Then we all have breakfast together, go to bed at 10. They wake up, I don't know, at 4 maybe, come to the social at 5, dance till 8, have dinner, and then, before pre-party, and back in the venue.
Basically, rest for 2 weeks before you guys come to elSol.
Yes,
Guys,
and
it's phenomenal. This event is really,
plan
really good. The
plan a
energy is
day
amazing.
off after, so you can
For
sleep
sure, for
before
sure.
you
Or
start
also,
work.
Krakow is a beautiful city in Poland. It's an amazing, beautiful city. If you guys have never been there, you should go. Guys, I'm her biggest promoter, so you're going to be hearing this a lot from me. So, okay. Anyway, thank you very much for
Yes.
taking your time to listen to us, guys and ladies and gentlemen. Anya, thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. I can see, Mario, that your whole philosophy is getting very precise, and your also maturity and reflection. It shows because we talk every year. So this year, I feel like you have it even more like structured and more clear answers. So this time when you're not like, distracted by the travels, I think is doing you good. Super Mario
Thank you. I'm
teaching
glad you
accommodation,
noticed it.
elSol UK edition. It's we'll keep you informed. Thank you
All right,
guys.
guys.
Have
Thank
a
you,
great week.
everybody.
Take
Thank you,
care.
everybody, for your questions, your participation, and I look forward to seeing you guys more and more. Okay.
Also,
So
party passes are available from today. Your promoters also have discount codes for groups, so go get them.
thank you, Rafa.
Party people. Okay, we're ending now on Facebook.